Now, with the holiday season rapidly approaching and annual leave allowances begging to be used, Twyford, the editor of nzgirl.co.nz, is here to review some of the essentials that any girl needs to ensure a smooth, stress-free vacation. I've got some other ideas, but we'll start with what you've got.
Yeah, maybe not for a camping holiday, but if you were jet-setting off somewhere exotic, this would be
this is fantastic. Let's start with the belt.
Now, I see that you're not quite enamoured by the belt yet.
Well, let me show you the belt first of all.
Okay, this is Sparks and Frankie's undetected belt, and I came across this sort of earlier in the year, which was when I was sort of researching for a pregnancy segment, because it allows you, it's a clear belt that goes around and it extends, so it's good for mothers.
Others, if you're carrying others. Mothers.
But also great for airports. You know, when you're going through and you've waited a long time in the security line and your belt goes off, that means you've got to stand in another line and get zapped around.
Yeah, that's true, that's true. It's kind of...
Well, it's not meant to be seen.
Okay, it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be seen.
It's not a statement, unless, you know, you're going for something different.
I guess the other thing, too, is that if you are travelling, it's going to work with any outfit, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good for just the getting to and from places, but yeah, I guess it would be great as a thing, yeah.
So, good idea. How much? Where from?
That's $30 Australian, and it's from sparksandfrankie.com.
Okay. Now, these ones I like. If I can reach over to get this.
Get them. The Balancer Ergo digital scale. Now, any girl I know always struggles on the way home to try and justify everything that's going to be coming back. And the baggage, fees that you've got now, if you go even a kilo over, are just so prohibitive. So this is a digital scale that lets you easily read the weight of your luggage.
So you just, it's like a fish weigher, doesn't it? You just hang your bag on it.
It's a much better bounty.
Yeah. You have to lift, obviously, you have to lift it. So you have to know that you can at least lift your bag.
Yeah, well, so the baggage handlers need to be able to lift it onto the plane, I guess, so that's a good initial test.
How much?
That's about $60.
About $60. So if you're doing quite a bit of travel.
But you probably paid for that with 1 kilo over.
Well, that's true. Anyway, and this isn't super heavy. Good for, obviously, before you head. I once had a girlfriend who wore 3 coats and put shoes in her pockets when she was travelling, which makes it very uncomfortable when you're on the plane.
Just allows you to be strategic with where you put your heavy things.
Exactly. Yeah. Nice. That's a good idea. That is a good idea. Speaking of sort of where you put your things, this little... What are we going to call it?
This is the Cocoon Grid-It organiser, and every time I've travelled, I've taken one of these with me, because again, you're taking lots of really big handbags to try and fit as much in as possible, and these are all the items, I guess your gadgets as a gadget girl, and your passport are the things you want to be able to easily reach at any time.
And so you're not sort of rummaging through your bag trying to grab your phone or
or panicking and thinking that you've left it somewhere else.
There's quite a bit of flexibility with this. They're elasticized, aren't they?
So you can fit any sort of variation in any sort of thing, and they come in a variety of sizes. That one's got a ring binder, so good for students, I guess, as well.
I think this is a very good idea.
I love this.
Yeah. Well, how much are these?
They start from about $14 US, so you can order them online.
Okay, that's not
good Christmas present.
Yeah. Actually, you could use this for a lot of things. I mean, you talked about camping, but there's probably all sorts of things you could throw in here if you're out camping. Your torch and bits and pieces, and keep things quite well organised.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Now, we'll whip the phone out while we're here. This
is really cool, I think, on many different levels. So this is one of LG's new phones that's come out through 2 degrees, and it's got the dual SIM capability. So it means you can have 2 SIM cards in there. Great for travelling, so you can have your New Zealand SIM and you can buy a sort of cheap local SIM wherever you are to get sort of the cheaper calls. And it means you can choose when you're calling or texting which SIM card it is that you're using. Also good for students, like, my younger sister who've got a phone for texting and a phone for calling to get the better rates. And also good if you've got, a work phone, but you also want to be able to do personal calls and don't want to have to itemise everything out at the end of the month.
I'm really impressed with this. How much are you paying for it? And who do you have to... Well, I guess you can be with anyone. You can be with 2 companies, can't
Exactly.
you?
So that's $199 and it's out now through 2 degrees, but you're right, you could also have another SIM in there as well. I think that's fantastic.
And I mean, obviously, it does more than just... I mean, it's a decent enough phone.
It's a nice little phone,
all by itself. I think that's a great idea. I think that's very, very clever.
About time.
And I suspect we're going to see a lot more of those. Now, just finally...
This came through, this has just been released, and as I was pulling the segment together, and I thought, well, it's maybe worth a mention. So this is the one above aerotonic drink. So the idea being that you consume probably about a litre of that would equate to about 5 or 6 hours in an aeroplane, and it's meant to give you all the vitamins and electrolytes that you need. It tastes like flat Lucozade, so
tastes like that. Now, I sort of said to you, this is silly because you couldn't take it on a plane. The idea is you drink it before you get on the plane.
Yeah, so they've got a little kiosk just in the departure lounge of the Auckland International Airport. So before you go and fly on your big jet-setting holiday, you dose up on that and you're all hydrated and ready to fly.
Right, and you just need to go to the toilet 8 times during your
Probably,
flight.
yeah.
So do just give it
Before you
some
even
thought.
get on the plane.
Okay, and so this you get from your
Yeah,
airport,
as you
from the
walk through,
cruise.
yeah, so it's
Okay.
$6.50 for the 1 litre.
Brilliant. T, thank you so much for that.
Pleasure.